The cursor blinked at me on an empty email draft, pulsing like it was mocking my hesitation. My fingers hovered over the keys, but no words came. Just that endless blink, a small, stubborn reminder of every voice inside me that said, I wasn't enough. This week, something good happened. A win. The kind of win my younger self would have prayed for. And yet, when it arrived, instead of celebrating, I shrank. It was at a celebratory dinner with my colleagues. The air was warm with laughter, plates clinking, voices overlapping in easy joy. My boss lifted his glass toward me. His words cut through the noise, sharp and clear. This one's for Chloe. She carried this deal. She deserves all the credit. Everyone turned, smiles, applause. My name echoed across the table, but it didn't land. It floated above me like it belonged to someone else. I felt my smile stretch too wide, my laugh land a little too light. My fingers tightened around the champagne glass, condensation slipping down onto my palm. Across the table, the bouquet centerpiece glowed in the soft light. My eyes locked on its petals, using them as a shield, as if staring long enough could make me invisible. The flowers bloomed, openly, confidently, with no hesitation. And I thought, why can't I do the same? Why can't I just accept this moment? Instead, a voice inside whispered, "You don't deserve this. They're wrong about you. This is luck, not skill." I nodded and thanked people, but inside, my chest collapsed in on itself. Even as laughter swelled, I felt small. My fork scraped the plate, louder than it should have. My smile felt brittle. My shoulders curved inward, like I was apologizing for taking up space. The truth is, this week I won. And instead of standing taller, I shrank smaller. This is the strange ache of low self-worth after wins. On the outside, people see accomplishment. On the inside, you feel like an imposter, guilty for receiving something you believe you don't deserve. For me, it's tied to layers of upbringing and culture. Growing up, humility wasn't just encouraged. It was expected. Compliments were deflected. Achievements were downplayed. To accept praise too openly risked looking arrogant, prideful, or careless. And somewhere along the way, I confused humility with denial. So now, even when I've poured myself into something, when I finally achieve, I still feel a tug of war. One part of me longs to exhale, to feel proud. Another part whispers, don't let your guard down. Don't believe the praise. If you admit this feels good, you'll be punished for it later. Do you know this feeling? Do you brush off your wins, saying, it was nothing? Do you freeze under compliments, secretly wondering if people would still praise you if they saw the messy, unpolished parts of you? Do you run so fast to the next task that you never pause to receive what you've already earned? I've asked myself those questions more times than I can count, and every time I realize how exhausting it is to carry success, like a burden instead of a gift. There's something I wish I had heard earlier. A flower never doubts its bloom. Why should I? Because winds are blooms, proof that effort and care have taken root. They don't make us arrogant to acknowledge. They make us alive. Even that bouquet on the table, the one I used as a shield, can soften in meaning. Maybe it wasn't mocking me. Maybe it was teaching me. Each flower opened because it had grown. It didn't need permission to exist. It simply bloomed. Let's pause here together. Inhale deeply, exhale slowly. Let the breath remind you, growth deserves recognition. Your blooms are allowed to be seen. I can still feel the tug inside me, the part that wants to accept and the part that wants to hide. If you'd like, try this with me. Find a comfortable position, feel the chair beneath you, the ground holding you steady. Notice your shoulders, notice your breath. Notice if your hands fidget or clench. Just notice. We'll move through 2 practices tonight, each one opening a little more space for self-recognition. Practice 1. Gratitude. Journaling for self-recognition. Take a notebook or imagine the page in your mind. At the top, write, I deserve this. Now, write down 3 wins from your week. They don't need to be grand. Maybe you finally finished that difficult task. Maybe you showed up to something you wanted to skip. Maybe you survived a hard day. After each win, write, this was mine. I deserve this. Notice the discomfort, notice the temptation to minimize, and then notice the truth underneath. These things happened because of you, because you tried, because you cared, because you endured. Let the ink be your proof. Let the page hold what your chest still resists. Pause, breathe, look at what you've written, whisper it once more. I deserve this. Practice 2. Affirmation layering. Deservingness. Now, let's bring it into the body. Start soft, almost hesitant. I deserve my achievements. Breathe. Say it again, steadier. I deserve my achievements. And once more, firm and sure, like you're planting a stake in the ground. I deserve my achievements. Layer it until the words don't just sound like phrases, but truths settling deeper into your chest. If you feel resistance, imagine the bouquet again, each petal opening without apology, without doubt. Let it remind you, blooming isn't arrogance. Blooming is life. As I sit here, I notice the shift in me. My shoulders have softened. My breath feels fuller. The bouquet in my memory no longer feels like a shield I hid behind. It feels like a quiet teacher, showing me that blooming is natural. Maybe you feel something too. Maybe it's just a hint of warmth where guilt used to sit. Maybe it's a softening, a loosening of the belief that you're undeserving. That's the reset. Not a grand epiphany, not a fireworks celebration, just the small, steady act of receiving what's already yours. Even pausing here tonight is enough. You don't need to plaster your achievements on billboards. You don't need to pretend confidence you don't yet feel. Simply acknowledging that your wins belong to you is already an act of courage. Let's repeat the mantra again. I deserve my achievements. Once more, softer. I deserve my achievements. And finally, steady and sure. I deserve my achievements. What's one win you can let yourself own this week? Write it down. Speak it aloud. Hold it in your palm like a bloom. Fragile, beautiful, alive. Tomorrow might still bring doubt. That voice may whisper that you didn't do enough, that you haven't earned it. But tonight, we reset. Tonight we rest in the truth that wins don't need your permission to be real. They already are. And for me, my gratitude tonight is simple. The bouquet I once used to hide behind, now seen for what it really was. Proof of bloom, proof of growth, proof that I too am allowed to open.